Alright everyone, we're here for Bleach TYBW episode 17. Let's get right into it. Last time I had to cut a few things out since the video ended up getting a bit too long for my liking, but hopefully we won't have to do that this week, which I doubt. We start with the Quincy Forstandihi from Bambi and the wings of Candice and Giselle. I like how their wings represent their power or their shrift. Candice is being more... Do I go into spoil? Do you know what? We won't go into spoilers. Let's move on. There will be spoilers for some stuff though, like stuff that is revealed later on in the manga and stuff from novels. So yeah, you've been warned. I can't get used to Lil Toto's voice. I can't say her name properly either, but it sounds weirdly robotic, as if it's been produced by an AI or something. I don't know, man. It will take some time and more lines from this girl to get used to it. The opening and ending, I am delighted to say I have started working on it. Also, I would like to say, and so was the plan when I wrote the script, but I've done nothing. I've been hella lazy. But by next week, the video will be out. Shinji got dusted in May 2nd. Stenerita I G Explodo Bambietta Bastabain. I don't know if that's how her last name is pronounced, but yeah, we move. Momo jumping in like she could actually do something. Sorry, I like Momo. Come on. Bambi instantly lost interest the moment Komamura wasn't a doggy. What is this, Attack on Titan now? But yeah, we'll get to the Jinkana Jutsu, or the Jinka technique, in a bit. No hesitation. Komamura just goes in and rips his heart out. And the CGI. Gokujo Tengen Myo Dangai Joe. Basically, the normal Bankai, but without the armor, or I guess the flesh itself. Straight spiritual pressure presented in the form of a monster. Bambi oddly stuck on the whole doggy thing. Any particular reasons? The CG itself is decent. Of course it stands out, but at this point most CG stuff does, and I'm done complaining about it at this point. The CG itself is decent. Of course it stands out, but at this point most CG stuff does, and I'm done with complaining about it at this point because it just feels off. This one less than most for me. I remember AOT had a lot of Titan stuff that I wasn't a big fan of in, I think it was part 2 of season 4, but this is better in comparison to that, because I feel like the Titans in that just didn't fit in. They felt a bit odd, you know, like they stood out a bit too much. Anyways, overall I'd say a 7 out of 10 because I lack knowledge when it comes to anime CG, but it looks good with the 2D stuff, fits in decently alright. So yeah, an empty shell, nothing more than a vessel to defeat the Quincy. You could basically put it as nothing more than a vessel for revenge. Gambling with your life is calm and all, but I forgot what I was supposed to say, because instead of writing it in the script I was like, make something up on the spot in the script, so kind of forgot it. So I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant. Komamura says he didn't risk it or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said that he staked it. And staking it is basically gambling with your life, not leaving it behind, but gambling it, which could have gone wrong. Like in this context, of course, it didn't. Komamura managed to be one of the stronger Sternritters and whatnot, and it worked out. It paid off in a sense, and it led to the Shinigami winning the war. But at the same time, it could have gone wrong if Bambi, say, wasn't as, I know this is a bit bad to say, but dumb. A lot of people aren't going to like that, but she is not on the smarter side, is the best way I can put it. But if she was, I feel like it would have been really bad for Komamura, and it would have been a really horrendous matchup for him, since all she had to do was not attack. All she had to do was take her time with him, and Komamura at some point would have just, his heart would have gave in, and he would have just died on his own. Not died, since we don't know if he's dead, but, you know, yeah. Anyways, there goes Bambi. Bye-bye, Bambi-chan. Hope to see you better soon. Hopefully Kubo-sensei decides that you need to be fixed. Anyways, Gokujo Tengen Myo can be seen, or Dangai Joe can be seen from far away. It's big, and Yuha can see it. Imagine you see that thing coming towards you. Man, that would be scary. And the fool. King of course they go for this OST as well. They had to choose Soundscape for the Ado. God damn it, man. Right in the field. So many questions. The Jinka technique allows the people of the Beast Clan to transform into their true human form. The form they would have taken if they weren't banished to the animal realm, say. For this, they have to give up their hearts, pierce it out with their own hand type of thing. That will make sense, but why the old man eating the heart? He mentioned sipping on the dark resentment and live on. Is this how he's able to live? By eating the heart of the people of their clan? Bro, for real, thriving on the hate. But on a real though, does he actually survive by doing so, or is that just metaphorical? Is he encouraging the people of his clan in a way to give up their lives so that he can live longer by sipping on their resentment or eating their heart or whatever? The Jinka technique is one that is an extreme case of vengefulness. If you turn to that, you are nothing but a beast looking for revenge. And that's what it signifies, and that's why it is ironic, since this is the same guy who told Tosin to give up on revenge, not taking his own words as advice for himself and plunging himself into the same waters as his friend, and the same waters that he told his friend not to enter or avoid or whatnot. Now, is Komamura alive? Is he dead? What did the old doggy mean by the things he said? We don't know. Till Kubo-sensei feels like telling us, we won't know, and we'd end up theorizing way too much. So let's move on, because my hypothesis is as good as yours. Onto the mid-screen card thingies. I still don't know what to call them. Please help. What do I call them? Firstly, Jinka no Jutsu, or the art of humanization. An ability enhancing technique passed down through the werewolf clan. Originally, the werewolf clan fell into the animal world due to the eggs they had left while they were still alive. And although they were made into beasts, they were unable to die and returned to the soul society in that form. The technique of temporarily breaking the chain of the egg, returning to the form before receiving the egg as a beast that is the form of a human, and gaining tremendous power, is called humanization technique. The caster can sacrifice his heart to gain temporary immortality, and while in human form he cannot die, no matter how much damage he receives. However, once the effect wears off, instead of returning to being a werewolf, it becomes a complete beast, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I don't exactly understand what the egg is, but it's basically all the stuff we know about the people of KOMAMURA'S clan being banished from the soul side into the animal realm, coming back, and that by sacrificing their heart, they can become human again, and afterwards they will turn into beast who is unable to speak. Now, who was it that sent them to the animal realm? Was it the Shinigami? Was it the Soul King himself? Was it Squad Zero? We don't know. There's so many things that we just don't know. There's so many things about the Beast Clan themselves that are just a mystery. What was their sin? Or the egg, as mentioned in this, what was it? Of course, it's mentioned it's something to do with revenge, and that's what the whole clan is about. But there's so many questions. So many questions. Next up, we have the Quincy for Shandihi. Master's ability enhancement technique. It is different from the final form of the destroyer that Soken Ishida was obsessed with. It is a thing. You can unlock the abilities of the holy characters more effectively and dramatically increase your combat power. It mainly manifests in the form of a star-shaped ring on the head and wings on the back. But there are differences in the shape depending on the user. In this state, Kyoge Opi, who has the holy letter J, has increased the electron focus, which is the basic ability of the destroyer, to the limit. Using the spirit child's absolute slavery, holy, she absorbed even emptiness. This is the best translation I got, and basically it is an ability granted to them by Yuha, which is different from what Soken Ishida, Uri's grandfather, wanted to achieve or was obsessed with achieving. It is basically a holy ring or star-shaped thing on their head and a pair of wings, which differ from person to person depending on their ability. As we saw, Candace's was different from Giselle's, and Giselle's were different from Bambi's. And similar is the case with pretty much every single Sternritter. In case of Kyoge Opi, his letter being J, the Jill, had increased his Reishi manipulation, which is a basic power of the Quincy, but it was enhanced to such a degree that he could trap anyone or anything in there, besides, of course, his own subordinates being other people with the Quincy blood. Come to Sang-tu, where he's struggling, and Udia shows up. Then we come to BG9, who is battered, by the way. We see Uri arrive, and in the back, we see Sang-tu, who Uri probably made light work of. Nice reflection. Then we back to Bambi. That voice acting actually hits hard. Props to the voice actor. Amazing work. I won't go into whether this was good or bad. That ain't for me. Whether you like her or don't, this was definitely the better outcome for her. Otherwise, she would have died. And I know that still means she can go to the Soul Society. Actually, do Quincy's go to the Soul Society after death? We haven't seen any Quincy's in the Soul Society ever who have died, so maybe not, because Masaki was, of course, killed by a hollow, so she didn't go to Soul Society. Katagiri, we haven't seen anything relating to her. Soken Ishida, he should have gone to the Soul Society, even though he was technically killed by Mayuri. He should have still human nonetheless, so he should have gone to the Soul Society. Again, we saw nothing of that either, and many other Quincy's as well. So who knows? The Sternritters, do they go to the Soul Society? Do they not? If they do they retain their powers? Again, a whole lot more questions. So we move. Not quite sure about that, but spoiler alert, skip like 10 or 15 seconds ahead to avoid, of course. We don't know what it feels like being a zombie either. It might be worse than even death. So, we can't say this was the best for her. Since, of course, even though we don't know whether she goes to the Soul Society or not, she can still, live for now. Alright. We're back from spoiler territory. We arrive at Kyoraku, Nanao, and Yugam. I really like how chill Kyoraku is, or at least how chill he seems in the confrontation. It's just so cool. I really like this guy. Mask made light work of the three. And before that, Hisagi, learning about Komamura's death and just about to go run towards that. It kind of hurts because Hisagi and Komamura had the whole thing about Tosun, Rukia and Renji's arrival. God damn, I did not expect it to be so flashy, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I absolutely love how Kensei just stopped Mask's foot with his foot and decided to talk down on Hisagi first, then give Mask some attention. Hisagi justice needs to happen, man. But I guess we'll have to wait for Kafir on World for that. Let's go, Rose. Looking cool as always. I'd say his captain outfit is way better than his wizard outfit, not gonna lie. And time for the post credits. We see Ichigo struggling still. Ichibei says what Ichigo feels is what he's trying to protect. Of course, normally it would be his friends and family, but in this case he's trying to save them plus the whole of the Hueco the entirety of the Soul Society, and even the world of the living, so to say. So to try and protect the whole world and all the different realms, minus hell, that's a lot. What he sees are everlasting memories and revelations, or the power of the king. And here Ichigo is seeing not only the memories of the rail, but the invasion of the Soul Society 1,000 years ago, the Ojigote, etc., which puts it in perspective that the rail may be trapped in this crystal, but he still sees everything that happens throughout the Soul Society, the world living Hueco or whatever, you know. So he is keeping everything in check. He's not just a man in a crystal, so to say. He does serve a purpose and he looks over everything still. Then we see Ichigo surrounded by 4 colors, each representing different types of souls. This is based off of the Shinto belief, which I won't go into too much detail on. If you want to know about it, I'll leave a link to a video about Ichigo's character development from a while back, made by the great James Hansen. Go check that out to learn about it properly. But to put it simply, each color represents a type of soul, them being Shinigami, Quincy, human or hollow. Within the Shinto belief there's a thing about 4 types of souls, and all of them are based off of this Shinto belief. Them being based off this Shinto belief called Midama. The colors are the same, and yeah, again, I encourage you to check out James's video to learn more on the topic, since what I gave was not even the bare minimum. Ichibei mentions whether Ichigo is capable of the power of rail, or will he crack, meaning that having the powers of the king isn't easy. It requires a lot of ability and not everyone is capable, which of course we all know. We see Ryo give Ichigo some form of power, of course, but we don't know what exactly. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out. And then Ichigo arrives at Senjumaru, who is surrounded by a bunch of cloth and fabric. Ichigo asking what I have to do next is of course very on character, but at the same time, so different. Old Ichigo would have just been like, let me go now, I should be ready. But now he's actually going along with things. This one shouldn't be hard for Ichigo, since it's probably just going to be a new Shihak show, a new drip for Ichigo. Although remembering what happened to Renji in the manga when he came to Senjumaru with Rukia, this should be interesting. It will make a funny gag moment, but they're probably not going to do it because they're cutting all of the gag / fan service moments, which kinda sucks. I hope they had some gag stuff, man, we need that. We need that. Not me, we all need that. Please, 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 get this message to Shueisha, get this message to Taguchi, get this message to the people working on it. We need fan service, I beg. We need the gag moments, I beg. They're important. The quote this time is from Rose. The heavens resound with deceit. The captive heart dances to the melody. Of course, relating to his Bankai, and that's the end of this episode. Next episode is episode 18, Rages at Ringside. A lot of hype moments coming up, from Kensen and Rose fighting Mask to Rose's Bankai to Renji's iconic villain line to his Bankai and his victory, and so much hype. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll try to keep it short, but it's anything but short. We're like 24 minutes in, so I don't know how long the video is gonna be. Probably gonna try and cut it down, but it'll probably be at least 18 minutes. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a new world. Peace.